Hey guys, Chris here from TribeFit, and I've got a very special guest with me today, Bronson Dewar. Hopefully I pronounced it correctly, mate.
Yeah, that's good.
Fantastic, mate. Whereabouts in Australia are you based?
Newcastle.
Beautiful. And how's the weather in Newcastle at the moment?
Pretty good today, actually.
Good to hear, mate. We're down in Sydney, and it's nice and windy, but it's beautiful time of the year. Everything's warming up, so can't complain.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool, mate. Well, thanks for jumping on the interview today. Pretty much today was about finding out a little bit more about yourself and I guess your unique niche. I know picking a niche is something that I talk about time and time again, and I probably sound like a bit of a broken record. It is something pretty important, but I guess people find that either one of two paths. Either one, feel as though they can only think of the niches of toning and weight loss for women, or the common ones, or alternatively, some people think that they need to have this crazy niche that no one's ever thought of before in their life, and that's the only way they can be successful. But I guess, mate, I came across yourself and quite a unique niche, so I guess I thought we'll jump on this session today, and hopefully if anyone can take some tips out of it and how you narrowed down and how you focused on it and the success you've had, and why, that would be fantastic. So I guess leading up into that, could you tell us a little bit about, I guess, your background and what's kind of brought you to where you are today?
So my niche is motocross training.
Yeah.
So I do have a pretty extensive history in motocross, which is sort of makes it pretty easy for me to sort of dial in on that niche, I guess.
Yeah.
I've been a motocross or semi-professional motocross racer since I was about 12.
Fantastic.
All the way up until I was about 20, 21.
Cool.
I sort of during that stage of racing, I was sort of trying to figure out like how to do my own training for myself, like in the gym and all that, because unfortunately you do a Google search on training for motocross and there is nothing. And when I sort of got to this stage like two and a half years ago, put two and two together, I was like, oh, let's bridge the gap, and I started doing this.
Beautiful, man. And were you training people before that, or were you just kind of just training yourself?
I was trying to just training myself, and I had done the personal trainer course, just sort of previously, just mainly for my own personal knowledge and experience kind of thing. So I already sort of had that in my back pocket, and I had mate sort of give me a bit of a push. It was like, oh dude, you're not happy doing what you're doing, when you try something else. I was like, oh, let's give this a crack, and it worked. So
fantastic, man. Well, it's like I said, it's a super unique one. I haven't, as you said, I haven't the same as well. I'm sure there probably is a handful out there, and but I haven't specifically heard of anyone specific to that niche. But I guess the exciting part, the important part, is really there is if there's a need for being fit in any sort of space that you have a background in, there is always an opportunity. So I guess in terms of yourself, did you have other people asking you, saying, hey, I don't know, how do you get fit? Or is that what sort of turned on the light bulb moment for yourself, or you did it for yourself and then people saw the results you were getting and it was just, you kind of just jagged and you thought you'd give it a crack?
Yeah, well, pretty much like you said, I was sort of getting results for myself and my own racing, and I sort of after several years of trial and error, basically lots of research and everything like that, sort of ended up finally coming up with some good principles and that work and do transfer over to your racing fairly well. And obviously I've developed them more since then.
Of course.
But I was sort of working. I was I'd rock up to races and people sort of knew me as being fairly fit, in the racetrack and that. And I sort of had that I guess reputation, that so when I did start this business and people were like, oh, Bronson's training people now, they're like, oh yeah, I know he's fit. And so I sort of had that reputation to ride off, and sort of kicked off pretty good.
Fantastic. And what do you offer as an online trainer to your clients at the moment?
So I've got two programs. One's completely personalised, and the other one is just like sort of a generic program that I put out. All of them include nutrition and also a bit of mindset coaching as well.
Yep.
Because like it's very much a mental game, like racing motocross and that as well.
Yep.
And also because I've got a fair bit of experience like in actual like racing as well, I do help them with a fair bit of
great.
actual like tips and stuff like that with their on bike stuff as well.
Yeah, fantastic, mate. That's awesome. And so I guess in terms of anyone that's listening to this that is thinking about going in the online training space, like you said, you had to get a couple of mates to give you a bit of a push to have a crack at it. If anyone's kind of on the fence and thinking about it, what would you say to them, and B, how important is finding a niche?
Well, definitely niche is huge. I know that like I wouldn't even know what to really choose for another niche other than this. I know it would be difficult, but yeah, dialing in and being really extremely specific and like specializing in a certain field is definitely huge. Because like it goes back to the old saying of like you can't be like decent at everything.
Yeah.
Just be good at one thing. So
100%.
Like, like all my research and like development of all my programs and all that, like I don't have to be so broad. I can just dial in on just one specific aspect of training and stuff like that. So
yeah, exactly right. Cool, mate. Well, that's and I think probably the most important part is it's not as though, I don't know, you had to go into a bloody science lab and do experiments to try and figure out a niche and you know, sit there for 6 months working out. It was kind of like, well, what was your background? What was your expertise? What was your specialization? Couple that with fitness and how people could be looking for solutions to perform better in that space. And then it's really just bringing two, you know, a problem and a solution together in a unique way and just using your background, your expertise, your knowledge of a certain space. And I speak to a lot of people who say, oh, you know, I'm a trainer. I've been training for 1, 2, 3, 5 years time and I've trained everyone and I'm not really I don't feel like I'm an expert in anything. And I guess today, probably the most important thing that if anyone's thinking that at home, listen to this, is that you don't have to be, you know, this super specialized trainer that trains in these unique training principles that no one's ever heard of or whatever. A niche can be bringing together a knowledge, an expertise, a specialization around a different form of, I guess, like you said, motocross, and then bringing that together with fitness that's specialized to helping those people. So everyone, I always say to everyone's always an expert at something. You just got to do a little bit of thinking. There's always potentially, you know, 2 or 3 routes you could go down, even if you know, a lot of traders, Bronson, a lot of trainers that are training in gyms feel as though just because they have had to train face to face, you know, women, men, all ages, all different goals, all different focuses, that it kind of makes them feel like they're not a specialist in anywhere. But I guess in terms of yourself, mate, you just kind of took your background, where you were having expertise, where you had a, you know, performance in, and then coupled that with the fitness side of things for yourself, and then kind of just expanded on from there.
Yeah. One thing I will add is mainly stick to your guns if you're going to specialise in something as well.
Yeah.
Because I've had many people come up to me like, oh, you're a personal trainer, like, can you just do some training? I go, no, man, motocross only, that's what I do. So if you've got that, if you do that and you be seen as you only do motocross, you are this, you are that, then that's it. You don't branch out, you don't do other little side things and that. Like, you do stick to your guns, because when you got people that are coming looking for someone that is a specialist in that field, they go, oh, he only does that. And like, yes, I want him. So
yeah, mate, I couldn't have said it better. That's so awesome, because it is true that it's so easy when you're thinking, oh, I don't know, I'm on my way and I've only got 5 clients, but I need 10 clients. And then people might start coming towards you and saying, hey, is it all right if you do a program for this or that, or help me out with this? And it kind of, it is very counterproductive, as you said. As soon as you start spreading yourself thin, you get clients that don't see your value. They don't want to pay what you're worth. They don't see your time. And then also you start to be known as the guy, like you said, the jack of all trades, master of none. And then you don't attract those clients towards you. So, mate, that's That's absolutely spot on. What would you say in terms of, is it hard saying no to people when they're asking for different things?
Oh yeah, it's hard, especially if you're strapped for cash and looking for more clients as well. So, but it comes around. So like my first year was pretty hard. Being in my field, I didn't make much money. I was like just sort of getting by with enough money for rent and food and stuff like that on a week to week.
Yeah.
But I stuck to it, and then like once I've got that exposure in the space and all that, like everything's come around. So yeah, it's sort of booming now. But sort of I just stick with it for a while, be a bit resilient. But it definitely does come around once you've got that exposure.
Man, that's so fantastic and so true. And I guess in terms of yourself, mate, the here and the now, what's the future? What's the vision for the business and what you're doing?
Well, pretty much what we're doing at the moment is we're trying to get together like almost a race team, essentially. And we're pretty much going to go on the whole idea of like we are fit as, and we like going to change the space in motocross pretty much with the race team that we're going to go attack the MX Nationals.
Beautiful.
Already got a few boys that raced the MX Nationals this year, did pretty decent as rookies in the national space.
Yep.
We're going to go have another crack next year and see if we can turn some heads.
Mate, I love that. That's so good. Having a passion in the space, and that's the other thing. If you specialise in somewhere that you love, it isn't a job. It's what you love. It's what you're doing, and then you're in circles, and then other things can kind of spiral off that. You can really have an impact in the space, and as you said, really have a good crack and turn a whole lot of heads.
Yeah, that's it, 100%.
Cool, mate. Well, in terms of clients, one last question before we finish up today. In terms of clients, what do you do to get leads, to get clients at the moment?
Mostly Facebook ads and referrals.
Yep.
Is where I get most of my stuff. So, yeah, that's where I get most of my leads, and most of my clients come through that way, yeah.
Beautiful, mate. And exactly that is if anyone's listening from home, like you said, specialising. As soon as you specialise and become a specialist and people know that you are that guy, then you start to get a truckload more for referrals just as a result, because people talk and point people in the right direction.
I've also done a couple of events and stuff like that as well. Events are really good. Put on like just like a 2 or 3 hour little like talk and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like you get people that are in your niche to come around. You have a chat, like give them a whole lot of information. Like this is what you need to be doing. This is how you need to be training and all that kind of stuff.
Beautiful.
Don't give them everything, obviously, but like just sort of narrow it in so they know what they have to do, and then at the end sort of do a little quick pitch. And so I've got a few clients doing it that way as well, which is always good. And you can make a couple of quick bucks by running a little event as well. So yeah,
fantastic, mate. Well, how many clients have you got at the moment?
I've got 15 personal clients, and I've got about I think it's about 30 people on one of my other sort of more generic programs as well.
Beautiful.
So, and I've got I only do 4 one-on-ones at the moment. So
wicked.
Yeah.
Mate,
doing a bit of mixture of everything.
Yeah. Mate, rock and roll. That's awesome. Hats off to you, mate, with your success, and appreciate jumping on the interview today. And I'm sure everyone that's listening to the interview is taking a lot of information from, and just the uniqueness, mate, of the space you're going in. And as a result, you'd probably be one of only a handful of people, if that, in the world. And as you said, mate, you can really carve out a space for yourself, be that expert, and just continue to grow.
That's it.
Cool, man. Well, thanks again. And, mate, have a lovely day. And no doubt we'll be speaking soon, Bronson.
Yep, awesome. Sounds good.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
All right, cheers.